It is the 30th of January, 2018. It's a Tuesday. And, we are. Let me pull up that app there. Hope you all had a good Monday. Hope you had a good start to your trading week. Hope you all had good days regardless. Let's take a look at what our trades we had on yesterday and how those fared. So, yesterday, starting off with the dollar yen here. Oh, wait, we got some econ news coming out, I think. Or it's already out, not sure. Well, anyways. Not a huge fan of trading today. Just to put that out there because we have the State of the Union in the United States. And oftentimes those days, historically, those trading days can be a little dull, and over the evening they can be a little wild. During the speech, they can be a little wild, especially if the how do you say it? If the man in charge is going to cause a ruckus or not in the state of affairs. Personally, I love the randomness. I think it's great. But some people do not like to trade during those times, and I'm one of them. I like it. I don't like the randomness. All right, let's look at what we've got going on. Our first trade yesterday was a kind of a continuation off of our a weekend trade on the dollar yen. Let's take a look at how that worked. So yesterday we wanted to go long at 109.57. That did not get reached. All right, we did not have a active trade on that hit yesterday. We are still kind of floating down here. We have not breached these lows. It looks like we have formed a pivot on the hourly here. So that is a fairly neutral sign. I mean, the DXY, the dollar index on all the dollar pairs, they should show a little weakness today, just because of the unknown. So, of President Trump's speech coming up tonight. So this is really, I don't have a trade in for the dollar yen. So I watch those things live. I trade the markets live, even when I'm off with you guys. I mean, I don't think traders ever stop trading or don't have it on their brain. So, if there's a setup that happens up between now and tomorrow morning, just like over the weekend, I'll put it in the signals alerts there. Now, next trade we've got is the euro pound. And with this one, we wanted to go short at a hold and to trade below the 87.70 zone. We touched it, but we did not get below it. All right. That trade is still active. We could end up with a head and shoulders pattern. Again, I'm saying this all the time. I do not like these. I do not like trading these kinds of patterns. I think it's like gambling. But let's see what happens. All right. What we're really looking for is we want a break of the 87.76 line, and we want to end up trading below it. This price area needs to be broken before we're gonna move down. Okay, so no activity on that guy yesterday. I mean, the weekend trades and the Friday trades panned out. Just yesterday's, some of these didn't hit. Okay, gold. So we wanted to go short between 1336 and 1331. Is that right? 1336. Yeah. So 1336 happened, and 1331 was down here. Depending on how aggressive you were, you got an entry or you didn't. We are still respecting this angle as a resistance angle. So we've got a couple setups here. This angle has been treated as resistance. This angle was we were just wrapping around that Gann angle. So again, that is very odd. Why does it do that? I was going to say that did not look like that earlier. And TradingView changed their page a little bit here. So, all right, yeah, we are still trending below that angle on the daily. Let's go back to the hourly. All right, so again, the law of angles is when we break above, close, and then actually trade a full candle above an angle, we will always move to test the next one, which is right up here. I would consider this angle to be tested. It's the same angle. That looks like it makes more sense now. So this is a kind of a tight area. We have this. We could really expect to see some type of activity like this. We have a lot of consolidative things going on. But we do have maybe a couple trades sitting. Well, I'm really not a huge fan of trading things right now. Yeah, if I have to think about it, then I don't want to do it. All right, then looking at our next trade was the euro. We want it to be short at 123.68. Yesterday, 123. Where are we at? Wait, 12368. With the stop at 124.43. Ooh, that barely. So the stop is still there. Trade did find support there. That is a currently out of the not in profit there. What did I put there? 123.68. We did hit that. We did find support there. Yeah, I mean, until that stops hit, because I put the stop at 124.3. So until that's actually hit, this is still active. Again, we're going to see these kind of moves today, and probably not a lot of moves at the same time, going into the afternoon and then into the evening before this the State of the Union. So again, this is not a day I like to trade, and I wouldn't encourage anybody to be trading today either, unless there's a really nice setup I spot here. I did not get a lot of time earlier this morning to jump in and check things out, so I'm going over this right new with you guys as well. Let's see, we had the Aussie dollar. We wanted to go short at 0.808. That trade did work out nicely last night. It hit my target right. What did I get a hit at? Yeah, right. 808. Yeah. Yeah, 66. There it is. We did get a nice hit on that one. Short at 808. Stop above 13, which is up here still. We are still near these yearly highs. One might say this could be heads and shouldery, but again, expect the dollar pairs to be weak on the dollar going into today, and we'll see how these things react. But this has been a pretty flat move. I mean, I was looking at this on the 4-hour chart. That is that's a pretty dull mover right there. I mean, for 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. For entire 24 hours, we did not really move anywhere. We closed and opened. We opened at 81.01. Oh, sorry. We opened at 80.89. And then we closed at 80.95. That is not a lot of movement. Okay, but we did find resistance at this angle right here. On this 4-hour candlestick, we did find resistance right here, and we are making higher lows. We continue to make higher lows. If we look at the daily, though, notice we are still extremely extended. There's a lot of buying right there still, but there's not a lot of interest. I know we're still on the daily here, but you know, this is we have a bullish engulfing candle, but on less volume than the previous one. So that is something. Then we have kind of a rounded. We have lower highs. So actually, we have lower highs and lower lows. Just keep that in mind. So that one worked out. Let's see, the pound dollar we had continuing from Friday, but I'm assuming that this one got hit into profit at 141.55. Yes, that one did. So this one's crawling back a little bit, wants to do a little retracement. That's a good sign that we had a break of this trend line. And this angle looks like it's being tested. The pound dollar may be a good setup where we want to hit. There would be a short opportunity in there. Actually, a couple where we're at. That's where we would want to be. And I forgot to mention that we really want to do these shorts as long as the oscillators. I mean, if we get a break of these trend areas and our oscillators on higher time frames are still in extended overbought conditions, that's safe. That's kind of what we're looking for. But if they are, especially at these levels on the hourlies, or let's see what we got going on the 2-hour chart, kind of in the mid there. That did get kind of an oversold condition on the 2-hour chart. Let's see, look at the 8-hour. 8-hour little bounce. Our composite index was showing a good supportive bounce area there. But we are technically still in... where did my thing go here? Pull that up there. Okay, so sweet. We've got a series of lower highs and lower lows. That's a good sign. Keep an eye over here on that pound. That's a good setup that we may be getting here. Our other trade, I believe that was it. Yep, then I think we had the New Zealand dollar as well, but we didn't do a trade on that because our Friday short at 73.31 was in profit, and then over the weekend we did it again at 73.36. So this is maintaining a pretty good trend line here. Oh, that is not it. Roughly, there you go. It's really mirroring this angle. Oh, why does it do that? Now, see, that makes more sense. We have this angle being tested and rejected so far, but we are on the lookout to see if this guy breaks above. If it does, that is a pretty bullish sign. If we break above this and hold, we want the volume to confirm that activity, though. We've got 15 minutes left on this candle, so we'll have to see what happens. Again, we are at we're at pretty big highs and at these really extended conditions. We may have just experienced a small pullback, profit taking before we want to go higher. This is from 2017, the September high. That's where we're trading at. And then all the way back to the July, almost right beginning of August, July 27th of 2017, our high is at the 75.53 zone. So let's keep an eye over here. If we actually want to do a look at the Fib levels on this, we can see that we did get rejected at the 75 here. All right, which is also near our 50% range in our Gann box, which is this big lattice structure here. And when price came down here, we kind of got within, what did we get within here? We're at 72.64. Yeah, so we got about 15, 14 pips away from the 6-8 retracement zone. So we are in a kind of a supportive area as far as where historical price levels have traded before, and especially that we are testing this angle. Bring back down the hourly. We're testing this. I want to see really if we do break above, we can be bullish, but we'll want to really wait and see how much conviction there is on that move towards the end of the day. This is not when I'm looking at the volume here, the volume is dropping, but the price is moving up. Never really a good sign, so I'm not interested in participating in this one way or the other. Let's see our other trades. All right, so then let's go. We'll come back to cryptos. Let's go right over into cryptocurrencies real quick so we can study what we've got going on here. Cryptos. Where are we at here? Okay, we have been trading in a miserable range in Bitcoin. Really, ever since the 28th, we've traded a total of a $400 range, and really ever since let's say the 16th. So for 14 days, half a month, we have just been trading between the 12,500 value area and the 10,000 value area. It's been kind of a really dull, moot, boring trade with not a lot going on. We just have a lot of boringness happening here. I want to pull up this chart though of Bitcoin. So we are in a new square. And I've been talking about these time confluence zones, which we are in. We're in every day we're getting closer to February 5th, which is a really important calendar date in Gann's analysis. We are also at the beginning and the end of a new time cycle here, which was yesterday. And we are in a new square in time. We have a lot of activity happening right now, and actually I need to put in a buy here on Coinbase because I don't think my thing got hit on GDAX. Did it? No. All right. Oops. Cool. All right. Sweet. Now, if we are looking at these movements in Bitcoin and what are we seeing? Well, we've got, if we look at our oscillator, I've got 3 time periods here. I've got a 1 hour time period, then this one's the 4 and this one's the 8. So we are below and in our buying range on the 4 and 8, and the 1 hour we just kind of got into. What do we need to move these markets? Participation. So unless prices are going to burst higher, then we really just need to see prices dump. I mean, I'd be thrilled if we got down to the 7,500 value area in Bitcoin. That would be awesome. In fact, I'm assuming that's where most people are waiting. Nobody really wants to sell because people are fine holding. So we have to get to a point where enough weak hands are going to dump so that people can add back in, or that the capital sitting on the sidelines can come back in. We're going to test this $10,000 value area, which is fine. We may want to test lower, which would be great. And so how low could things go in Bitcoin? We could see 7,500, which would be fun. Ethereum, we could hit down to 750, which would be great. Although Ethereum has the least amount of downside risk and the most upside potential out of the majors, and then Litecoin as well, we could go down all the way to 60 if we wanted. Well, actually, now our downside risk got significantly less. We're looking at the 90 value area for Litecoin, so keep an eye on that. I mean, look at Litecoin's trade here. It has been trading in between 187.5 and 154 or 164.7. We've been trading in a $23 range since the 22nd. Really, we could go back and say that we've been trading between 140 and 180, or a $47-$50 range since the 16th, same kind of time frame. So we're just really, really tight on these cryptos. We're very much stuck in this range until we get some activity. But we are in some clear signs of accumulation. I do a daily gig over here. I'm not pushing this. I'm just saying I do the all posts. Okay, so I wrote that current behavior and tight range of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin offers an opportunity for a good lesson. I had us in mind when I was talking about this, that since the market is continuing to coil, consolidate, and be very boring, we get this opportunity to review, learn something new in the phases of any market. And this is great for Forex too. So in Dow theory, that's one of the main tenets of technical analysis, and it's one of the very first things that you learn. But there's 6 parts of it. That the market is always at a discount, that there are 3 types of market trends. There are 3 primary there are 3 primary trends, and those trends have 3 phases. And then we have other indices confirm one another. Now that the Dow was originally transportation and oh my god, never mind. Then volume needs to confirm a trend, and then the 6th theory is that until a clear reversal occurs, trends persist. All right, so I focused on number 2 and what an accumulation phase is. Okay, so an accumulation phase, so there's accumulation, public participation, distribution. Those are the 3 primary market trends. And so if you can see this here, you know what, I bet I have a picture saved of this. Clients. Sort by date. Okay. All right, here we go. So when I was looking at the chart from before the breakout in December, we had an accumulation phase for quite a while. And then we had public participation. That's when Bitcoin really blew up. That's when Bitcoin really shot above. And then we had distribution, which is where we're at. We've had panic selling. We've had public participation in this selling, and now we are at the kind of the dull area. And the hard part with accumulation is that they're hard to spot. They come at the end of a distribution phase or a bear market or a bear phase or whatever you want to call it. And this is generally when you're always hearing news that is the worst about it. You're always hearing things like Bitcoin's a joke. You're always going to hear things that this is a scam. When you hear all these things and all the sentiment is bad and all the news is bad and the price is down, those are like the three things that tell you those are the times to buy. All right? So those are the fundamental kind of things. You want to hear horrible news about it. You want to hear anything and everything that's going to be bad about it for those prices to continue down. Then kind of on the fundamental side, tying in with the technical, is that the more bad news you get, if the lower prices don't continue, then you've kind of priced in all that news. So on technical basis, we want to see consolidation as evidence of accumulation. So consolidation is tight ranges of price being traded, very small ups and downs over a period that shows very flat movement on a chart. One of the easiest ways to know if the end of a trend is over, because consolidation can mean a pause and before another leg down. So that's why trying to find the true accumulation phase is difficult. Is if price stops making lower lows and lower highs, we want to look at that. Is it happening right now? And it is, to some degree. We have stopped making lower lows. Here's our low. Here's our low. Here's our low. We have not made, or we've made higher lows. Even if this were to break, depending on your time frame. If we look at a daily chart, and let's clear this out. I'm going to just hide all these drawing tools. So if we were looking at a daily chart, we still have higher lows. We are still stuck in a range, and really the $10,000 range is where we want to kind of consider the bottom of our range. And so we have not, and volume has been decreasing, so we are still in this kind of crap area, and we haven't made higher highs though. I mean, you might say that this was a higher high over the weekend, but you don't really want to count that. This is a whole boxed in zone that we need to get out of. And we're going to say we'll just say 12,002. The heck. Here to here. This is our trading range. And so we're just going to really continue in this until we finally bust out of it one way or the other. If we're looking for a catalyst for buying pressure, we are going to need to experience lower lows. We're going to want to look towards the 7,500 value area. Now, things like to move, and you may not ever see this anywhere else, but things like to move in a pattern. They're like prices, like anything in nature. A price chart is just a natural visual representation of a natural system. And so things like to move in a rhythm. That can be either a certain amount of days, that can be a certain amount of price pips, that can mean a certain number of points, that could mean a certain number, a certain type of angle. I have found that Bitcoin likes to travel in equal percentage moves. And when we look at the swing highs and swing lows here that we've had coming down, oops, that is not what I want. What do you notice about these moves on the big swings? 47.2, 47.72, 47.75. All right. So our next swing, if we're going to have a 40% move, is around there, 6,800. I'm guessing 7,500 and 7,000 would be the stopping area, but this is a normal move. That is a normal pattern that should show up. You know, ideally you want a pattern of 3 before you call it a pattern, but these are fairly longer moves and larger moves. So, you know, we have seen Bitcoin experience these 50% retracements over the last month, over a month, since the 17th of December. How were the swing highs prior to, what were the swings like prior to the rise up? You know, that is, depends if you want to call that an actual swing, but maybe like this. Again, on these accumulations then into public participation, the swings get larger. This is also indicative of parabolic moves. I mean, we get these greater than 100% moves up here. So we should expect to see these types of corrections and corrective moves. You know, the move, we went from 11.12 to 12.16, or we could say from September 15th all the way to December 17th. So we're looking at a 3-month drive. So we could look at an equal 3-month drive down. Be on the lookout for that. Anyways, let's go back into our Forex pairs real fast. And, oops. Want to pull up. Where's my Forex lens there? And we had some news out here just a second ago. This is Redbook. Year over year, 3.2 versus 3.8. Man, Case-Shiller, 6.4. It's as expected. Okay. New Zealand dollar. Again, we are closing up above that angle, but we want to see some really responsive buying before we would participate. Aussie dollar, bland. The dollar index continuing to move down. Broke that trend line. I meant to show that right away this morning, but did not get to it. But we're still above the lows down here. The dollar yen, we may push lower here. We'll see though if there's going to be any support. There may not be going into today, so just keep an eye on that. And let's see, the pound dollar. You know, really, yeah, we just really are probably not going to see a whole lot of activity. Like I would talk about the holidays where things just kind of move in one direction. Whatever the trend was prior to the holiday, that's where the trend is going to continue. We should see that today too. You know, if on the short term, if the euro is trading up, we see it's gone up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, going into 7 hours. Let's expect it to go up still. I mean, it could reach all-time highs and get up to the 125.5 zone before we have the speech, which is kind of right near the end of our time cycle. Well, at 3 o'clock it is. So just be on the lookout for that. You know, not a whole lot of things going on, and this isn't a good trading zone. So if this is your first time with me and with the rest of us, I mean, you're probably looking for some trade opportunities, but I'm going to tell you right off the bat that one of the keys to successful trading isn't how you can find the best entries, because you shouldn't have to find them a lot of times. They should just kind of be there. But really one of the most important things is knowing when not to trade. And when we've got a real wild political climate here in the States, and especially when we're going to have the State of the Union address, which is always a big deal. I'm not interested in putting my money at risk. It's my money. I don't want to trade in that environment. I really don't care how big of swings I could catch. I know that the risk is just way out there for me. I'm not interested in participating. So I'll let everybody else battle it out and do their thing before I come in and see where the good entries are. So if I'm not going to make an entry somewhere, with the exception of the pound dollar and maybe cryptocurrencies going into today, if I don't see an entry there, then I'm not going to offer an entry. So definitely tomorrow, though, and into this evening, we should see some opportunities. I will be putting some trade ideas up throughout the day if I see them, as we go in after the evening, like after 6 Central. I will be putting out some. Well, wait a minute. When's the State of the Union? It's usually later. State of the Union. All right, there is one bullish thing in there that needs to be addressed, is that when he brings up infrastructure spending, everybody's going to be happy about that, probably. So at 9 p.m. Eastern time, so that's going to be 8 p.m. Central, and 7 p.m. Mountain, and 6 p.m. Pacific. So be on the lookout for those things. If you are trading, be very careful today. There could be whipsaws. There could be just kind of dull movement in one direction. You don't want to be caught with your pants down today. Anyways, I will visit with you all tomorrow. We'll see how things went today and over the night, and we'll definitely get some better trades in the morning. So hope you all have a great day. Have a good Tuesday. Trade well. Trade smart. Don't trade scared. Don't trade happy. Well, I mean, don't trade super excited. And we'll visit with you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.